Have you ever stood at the edge of your life and wondered, is this all there is? Not the money in your wallet, not the ceiling fan humming overhead, not the routine that drags you like a prisoner through time, but the real thing, that ember inside your soul that flickers quietly when the world isn't watching. You feel it, the tension between who you are and who you were meant to be. There's a war taking place, not out there, in the world of chaos and commerce, but deep within you. A quiet, invisible battle between your highest potential and the chains of your own conditioning. Wealth is not the beginning of this journey. It is not the golden door you walk through first. Wealth, true wealth, is the final echo of a decision made long before a dollar ever touches your hand. It is a shadow cast by the fire of your mind. It follows thought. It bows to belief. And it obeys action. But most never see this. They chase the smoke while ignoring the flame. They are busy asking, how do I get rich? When they should be asking, who must I become to command wealth to follow me? The world is governed by unseen laws, not the laws written in books or courts, but the ones etched into the foundation of existence. And one of these laws whispers this: you cannot receive more than you believe you deserve. Stop here, not to pause, but to look deeper. What do you really believe about yourself? Are you secretly telling the universe you are not enough? Are you begging for scraps when your soul was born for mastery? Until your thoughts align with abundance, your life will remain a mirror of your limitations. The first prison is built with thoughts, and the first act of liberation is to think differently. You must begin to sculpt the architecture of wealth inside your own mind, not with delusions or daydreams, but with certainty. You must see yourself already in command, already worthy, already wealthy. Not because you tricked reality into giving you what you wanted, but because you became the kind of person to whom wealth is drawn naturally. Do you understand? Wealth is not pursued. It is attracted, but only to the man or woman who believes without trembling, acts without delay, and speaks from a place of unwavering self-trust. Faith is not blind. Faith sees what the world cannot yet comprehend. It sees the oak tree inside the acorn, the empire inside the idea, the wealth inside the will. And so you must ask yourself, what am I planting today with my thoughts? If your mind is soil, then every belief is a seed. Plant fear, reap scarcity. Plant doubt, reap delay. But plant faith, genuine, burning, relentless faith, and you will reap miracles that logic can never explain. You were not born to struggle for crumbs. You were born to awaken to power. But understand this, power is not inherited. It is earned in the shadows of discipline. The man who wakes before the sun, not because he must, but because his vision won't let him sleep, is the man wealth begins to follow. The woman who chooses focus over distraction, self-control over momentary pleasure, long-term vision over short-term applause, that woman becomes unstoppable. Because wealth does not reward the loud, the lazy, or the entitled. It rewards the disciplined. And discipline is not a punishment. It is the highest form of self-respect. Every time you delay gratification, you're telling your future, I believe in you. Every time you endure the grind, the rejection, the repetition, you are proving to yourself that you are not ordinary. You are forging a character worthy of commanding results that others only dream of. You must become obsessed with the process, not because it's glamorous, but because it's transformational. The gym, the desk, the silence, the solitude. This is where legacies are written. This is where you build the version of yourself that can carry wealth without being destroyed by it. Because wealth does not just amplify your lifestyle, it amplifies your character. And if your foundation is weak, it will crumble under the weight of abundance. So ask yourself, not just once, but every day, am I preparing myself for what I claim to desire? Because desire without discipline is a lie. The world does not care what you want. It only responds to who you are. And who you are is shaped every day by what you choose to believe, say, and do. If you think like the masses, you will live like the masses, frustrated, confused, and always chasing. But the moment you decide, truly decide, to think like a creator, to act like a commander of fate, the tide begins to shift. And let me warn you, when that shift begins, the world will not cheer. It will mock you. Your friends may vanish. Your comfort will scream. The old version of you will fight like hell to survive. But you must understand, that old version is not your friend. It is the ghost of survival. And you were not born to survive. You were born to soar. Burn the boats. Kill the excuses. Stand alone if you must. Because the only validation that matters is the life you create with your own hands. Build quietly. Move deliberately. Speak rarely. Deliver always. Let your success be the answer. Let your wealth be the echo of a mind that refused to shrink. Let your life become the evidence of a soul on fire. You are not chasing money. You are sculpting a spirit so powerful that money cannot help but obey. This is what the world never told you. Money is a servant. You are the master. But only if you believe it. Only if you act like it. Only if your daily rituals reflect it. There is no secret shortcut. No lottery of destiny. There is only the path. Walk it. Through the mud. Through the doubt. Through the silence when no one claps and no one calls and no one believes but you. Especially then. Because that is where faith becomes real. That is where wealth is born. Not in the bank account, but in the soul of the one who refused to give up when everything seemed still and quiet and hopeless. You must become the storm. Let your hunger become louder than your fear. Let your vision drown out your distractions. Let your purpose tear through your pain like lightning in a midnight sky. And when the world tries to hand you excuses, hand it results instead. You were not born to kneel before your limitations. You were born to command your destiny. Wealth is not some distant land. It is a byproduct of thought, of faith, of action. Every time you think deliberately, every time you believe when no one else does, every time you act when fear says wait, you pull wealth closer. You breathe life into possibility. You become a magnet for miracles. So rise, not once, not twice, but daily. Rise with the belief that your thoughts carry power. Rise with the certainty that your faith is stronger than your fears. Rise with the knowledge that consistent action, no matter how small, is divine. There is no man, no woman, no force outside of you greater than what already lives within you. Speak to it. Command it. Let it guide your hands, your words, your hours. Let it write a new story. One where you are not the victim of circumstances, but the architect of empires. You don't need permission. You don't need luck. You only need the will to think, the courage to believe, and the strength to move. Everything else, everything you dream of, will follow. Because wealth is not the destination. It is the shadow of who you become. And you, my friend, are becoming unforgettable. But listen closely now, because this is where most turn back. Right at the edge. Right when the air gets thinner and the climb gets steeper. Right when the voices of doubt rise like a storm, and the weight of your old self begs you to come home. But you didn't come this far to turn around. You came to burn the script they handed you at birth. You came to rip the mask off mediocrity and declare to the world, I am the author now. This is your reawakening, not to some fantasy, but to your true nature, powerful, precise, disciplined, dangerous in your potential. You were never meant to be comfortable. You were meant to grow, and growth requires fire. Let it burn away every excuse, every fear, every belief that whispered, you can't. Let it ignite a new force inside you, one that no longer waits, no longer pleads, no longer hopes, but moves. Moves with conviction, moves with purpose, moves like a soul that remembers who it is. Because somewhere in the deepest part of you, you've always known this truth. You were not born to chase wealth. You were born to command it. To build it, not for ego, but for impact. To use it, not to impress, but to empower. And to master it, not for vanity, but for victory over your lesser self. Wealth, in its truest form, is not a mansion, or a car, or a number on a screen. It is freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to live aligned with your values. Freedom to never again bow to anything less than what you know you are capable of. And the price of that freedom is you. The version of you that dares to let go of comfort. The version that says yes to pain, because pain is a forge. The version that walks alone, until greatness is the only company you keep. So now the path is clear. Not easy. Never easy. But clear. Think with intention. Believe with obsession. Act with discipline. And wealth, real, meaningful, lasting wealth, will follow like a shadow too loyal to leave. This is not motivation. This is transformation. The beginning was your awakening. But this is your ascension. Now rise.